No? You know what that represents?
Yeah. It's America.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today's video is a compilation of some of the craziest and most dramatic instances of Karens and Kevins in action. Sit back with a bowl of popcorn and watch these Karens get their comeuppance. Now we start the video with a man who has turned into a male Karen and gone on a drunken rampage. Buckle up as we dive into the raw, unedited details of this shocking incident. On July 21st, 2023, a drunk man caused a ruckus at the entrance of a California hotel. As the video begins, you can see him aggressively kicking and banging on the glass doors. The scene immediately turns chaotic. Panicked patrons and staff are trying to figure out how to handle the situation.
He's at the wrong one.
As the incident unfolds, it becomes clear that the man's behavior is not only disruptive, but potentially dangerous. This was a situation that required immediate intervention. Law enforcement was involved. The officers arrived at the scene and were clearly prepared to handle the situation. However, the man's erratic behavior made their task much more complicated. The officers approached cautiously. They tried to communicate with him, hoping to defuse the situation through dialogue. But given his condition, things were not going to be that simple. The man's response was uncooperative. Instead of calming down, he began shouting at the officers, refusing to comply with their requests. His behavior became increasingly aggressive, which only added to the tension of the moment. This move was decisive, and although it seemed cruel, it was used to ensure that both the man and the officers were safe. The decisive blow had the desired effect, and the man was eventually subdued. The officers quickly handcuffed him, ensuring that he could no longer pose a threat to himself or others. This moment was pivotal in the incident. After he was subdued, the scene began to calm down. The officers went to great lengths to ensure that the area was secure and that everyone involved was safe. They handled the situation professionally and carefully, demonstrating their ability to control even the most volatile situations. The drunk man who vandalized the hotel door and resisted arrest illustrates how intoxication can complicate legal interactions. Intoxicated individuals can face legal consequences for damaging property and resisting arrest. The law holds people accountable for their actions regardless of whether they are intoxicated. Resisting lawful authority can lead to additional charges such as obstruction of justice. In California Penal Code 148, it is defined that any person who willfully resists, delays, or obstructs any public officer, peace officer, or emergency medical technician in the performance or attempted performance of any duty of his office or employment shall be punished by a fine of up to $1,000 or by imprisonment in the county jail for up to 12 months or both. The man's act of resisting, obstructing, or obstructing the resolution of his matter fell within the scope of this law. This cost him dearly in compensatory damages and his own liberty. In addition, his repeated use of his foot to damage the glass on the hotel door led to him facing charges under California Penal Code 594 PC, which defines vandalism as intentionally damaging, destroying, or defacing the property of another. Vandalism is a misdemeanor if the amount of damage is less than $400, but the charge can be a felony if the damage is $400 or more. Next, we have a story that is both confusing and frustrating an encounter that shows how a simple misunderstanding can escalate. We explore this shocking story of a Karen confronting an Uber driver over a scarf. Yes, you heard that right, a scarf. On July 25th, 2023, in Brooklyn, a man was trying to complete an order when a woman rushed at him with a phone in her hand and repeatedly interrogated him. As soon as the conversation began, she demanded that the man remove the scarf from around his neck in an annoyed tone. Now consider the context. Mustafa was wearing a scarf. Many might see it as a simple fashion choice, a way to keep warm, and an accessory that symbolized his religion. But to Karen, the scarf was much more dangerous and a symbol of evil. This left the delivery man confused and a little annoyed by the woman's unfriendly attitude.
Take it off right now.
Take what off?
Take off the scarf.
Why?
Because it's a terrorist. It killed my brothers and sisters.
Oh.
Take it off right now.
I'll pass.
I'm waiting for you to take it down.
I ain't gonna see your life, girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are you here? You want to kill more?
I don't want to kill any Jews.
No, you know what that represents?
Not what you think.
What does it represent?
Listen, lady, I don't got time for your bullshit, alright?
Instead of answering directly, Karen launched into a tirade, making accusations that seemed to come straight from the left. Seeing her uncooperative attitude and being questioned again, Karen immediately spoke up and said that it was a terrorist headscarf. It represented the PLO and that the delivery man was supporting terrorism with that scarf. Crazy. Karen accused the delivery man of supporting terrorism based on the scarf he was wearing. It was an accusation so outlandish that it was almost unbelievable.
What does it represent?
You got nothing better to do?
Nothing. I'm an attorney. That's what I do for a living.
I do so.
Really?
Yes.
What do you do for a living? You deliver? You don't have to wear this scarf. This scarf represents the PLO. You know what a PLO is? You know what a PLO is? Do you know what it means? I'll educate you if you don't know what it means. Do you know what it means?
The delivery man tried to reason with Karen politely and calmly. He explained that the scarf was just a scarf, but Karen had already made up her mind. Her accusations continued, each one more bizarre than the last. And the situation escalated as Karen's accusations became more personal. It was clear that she was not only angry about the scarf, but also angry about the delivery man's Muslim identity.
Do you know what it means? I know, silence, because you do know what it means. Think you represent them? Why are you here?
Very juice.
Oh, very Jews. Oh, they're probably more.
Yeah, bro.
Take care.
Take care, man.
After completing the job, the delivery man immediately avoided Karen and left, but with Karen's aggression, she showed no signs of stopping. Fully, her unreasonable behavior and baseless accusations were further demonstrated by the fact that when she asked the delivery man his last name, she showed a blatantly racist attitude, saying that the man's last name was not allowed in this country. Ultimately, and Karen's outburst resulted in her being taken away from the scene. The police handled the situation, and the delivery man, although confused, was relieved that the confrontation was over.
Give your name.
Huh?
So proud of yourself. Give your name.
My name?
Yeah.
Mustafa.
For what?
Mustafa, that's it.
It's the last name. Mohammed is the first name. Mustafa is the first name.
Mustafa is the first name?
Yeah.
Muhammad is the last name?
Mohammed is not a last name.
That, I'm not asking you. I'm telling
telling
you.
you.
No, I'm telling you
I'm
my
going to
name.
speak to you in Arabic if you need.
Oh, I don't speak Arabic.
Yeah. Oh, you don't?
I
Because you
don't,
don't know
sorry.
what it means.
After this story, this was certainly a memorable situation that made the delivery man think about what had happened. The confrontation, which started over a simple scarf, turned into a dramatic display of unreasonable behavior and public disorder. Her racist actions are so outrageous that it is worth pondering. Consider how much worse her actions would have been if she had encountered a more aggressive person instead of this gentle delivery person. And her actions fall under the purview of Code 18249, the California Code. This law states whoever, whether or not acting under color of law, willfully inflicts bodily injury upon any person or through the use of fire, a firearm, a dangerous weapon, or an explosive or incendiary device attempts to inflict bodily injury upon any person because of the actual or perceived race, color, religion, or nationality of any person shall be punished by imprisonment for not more than 10 years, by a fine under this title, or by both. The next story takes us to the glamour streets of Beverly Hills, where fine dining meets outrageous behavior. Imagine a fancy restaurant, customers are enjoying their meals, and suddenly a man decides to cause a ruckus. On July 6, 2024, the police received a report of a man who, for some unknown reason, had been drinking heavily and getting drunk and decided to take his anger out on the restaurant staff. Not only was his behavior offensive, but his attitude was downright rude. And he started by berating the staff, hurling insults, and making everyone around him feel uncomfortable. Being rude to restaurant staff is bad enough, but this man took it a step further. He started spitting in public, an act that crossed the line from mere insult to potentially criminal behavior. In many jurisdictions, spitting in public can be classified as assault if it comes into contact with someone, or it can be considered disorderly conduct.
Fucking video me. It's
Yeah.
America. Come on.
It's America.
Oh, look what's look what's behind you. Look, take a look.
In the video, security and police are forced to intervene. They escort him out of the restaurant, but before he can cause a disturbance, he does not stop there and continues to be rude to surrounding customers. This man's behavior is not only embarrassing, but also disorderly and potentially illegal, and it didn't stop there.
That's America. What I do? What I do?
You woke up. That's what you did. You woke up.
What I do wrong? What I do
You
wrong?
woke up. Hey,
What I do wrong?
time to go.
You gonna tell me you're wrong? What I do wrong?
Get in the
What
car,
I do
go.
wrong? What I do wrong?
What did you say?
What I do wrong?
What did you say? Nothing. He said, I hate black people.
Police arrived to defuse the situation. Disorderly conduct and assault are potential charges that could be filed against the man. The legal system takes such outbursts seriously, as they disrupt the peace and can result in criminal charges. Is spitting, swearing, and yelling fall within the scope of California Penal Code Section 415, which defines disorderly conduct as fighting or challenging someone to fight in a public place, making excessive noise, and using aggressive language in a public place that is likely to cause conflict. Violations of the law can result in a misdemeanor, which carries a fine of up to $200, or a misdemeanor. If convicted of a misdemeanor, a person could face up to 3 months in jail and a fine of up to $400. So what can we learn from this Beverly Hills tragedy? Public behavior has consequences. Whether it's insulting an employee or spitting in public, such actions can lead to legal trouble and affect how others perceive you. It's always better to handle disappointment in a polite and respectful manner. That is the last case of this video. Actions that seem small but bring more serious consequences than imagined and are all regulated by law and have appropriate penalties. What do you think? Comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to be one of the first to access the information.